Hello and welcome back to Universally Bedford, your one-stop shop for everything Universal Studios coming to the UK. Welcome back. Today we've got an exciting little news update for you today. Mark Woodbury, CEO, has been speaking to the Bank of America Securities Conference about Universal Studios coming to the UK. And we have an audio recording. It's not video, I'm afraid, but we do have audio. So let's have a listen in and we can then unpack together what he had to say. So let's fire it up and let's see if we can learn anything new about the new resort. Let's see.
China and what works around the world.
And then moving on to the UK. So I think you just finished this special development order consultation process. It's like the end of August, I think was the end date. Can you walk us through that post-consultation timetable? Is there anything that could affect the 2026 groundbreaking and the 2030 or 2031 opening?
So just this, we're going to find out if we're still on track for a 2031 opening day for the Universal UK Resort.
Yeah, we haven't finished the consultation process. We're in the consultation process. We submitted a special development order, which is a very complex submission to the government that you would be surprised that 10,000 pages of documents. And that's not an exaggeration. That's actually a number. 10,000 pages of documents
I can verify that.
submitted to the government that support the whole development. And then what the government does is they take that out to consultation to the local marketplace to test support for the project. But our due diligence, when we did that work, testing support, we had 93% support for the project.
93. I have it at 92, but I'll take 93.
We've had 18,000 people register on our app to come and work for us, 2,000 vendors in the marketplace that want to be part of this development. So our hope is that that process will go very smoothly. But parks are complicated, organisms, and this takes some infrastructure in the form of rail expansion and highway off ramps and things like that. Not things that we haven't done before, but they're complicated. So that could be an issue. But we think we have a pretty good handle on it at this point.
So could you outline the CapEx, the return profile, the timetables? You already gave us peak year spend, even attendance. Like what, kind of, how do you?
Yeah, the best way to look at it is look at it like one of our standalone parks.
So here they're talking about the financials and the investment profile for this resort.
It's a full-blown Universal theme park with a 500-room hotel that is part of it, very much like Epic in terms of a park with a hotel. It's designed in a way that we don't see as cannibalistic to our strong UK visitation to Orlando. So we've created a different mix of attractions.
So here he's basically saying that we're not going to see too many Orlando attractions here in the UK for fear of that cannibalization, that fear of taking some of the visitation from the UK to Orlando and eradicating that by creating duplicate attractions in the UK. They're going to try and avoid that.
That we think will work great in the UK. But basically, it'll perform very much like one of our standalone parks in terms of attendance, in terms of per caps, and overall EBITDA performance.
And then how do you mitigate UK seasonality? Like you have the same issue, I guess, in China with the
Talking about the weather.
weather.
In Japan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
In
I
Japan.
mean, those are, you design it in a way that allows you to really take advantage of the great weather and protect against the inclement weather as best you can. But Japan, it gets very cold in the winter, very hot in the summer. China has its cold climate as well. UK, the issue in UK is precipitation, but you'd be surprised to find that it's a lot less than Orlando.
Less rain than Orlando.
And it just rains less and more frequently, which is not a bad problem to have. The torrential downpours are the bigger problem, but yeah, you just design accordingly.
And what are the biggest differences in developing a park internationally versus either building or adding onto an existing park in the US?
Yeah, the process is pretty much the same. You do come across different governmental protocols and processes in terms of development. The UK is unique in terms of the SDO. China was very unique. Different procurement in terms of construction, different business culture in that building part of the project. But most of the hardware comes from tried and true sources, predominantly around Europe and North America.
So here we're talking about where the stuff's going to come from. So obviously the construction process, the tendering process, the financial element, the approval process, that's going to differ from region to region. It's going to be different in Japan than it is to China, than it is to the UK. However, the actual equipment or the materials used for the construction, that remains the same. Roller coaster um, manufacturers actually are, they tend to be based in the EU. So we've got B&M, we've got Intamin, we've got Muck. They're the big three, I would say, of roller coaster manufacturers, and they are all between Switzerland, Austria, and Germany.
From a ride system and show system product, and then it's mainstream construction. And then when you get into the detail of design, like I said before, I mean the main product is universal and it's universal branded IPs. But then you get really focused on menu is very unique culturally. You have to pay close attention to that. And the other place where international development is unique is around humor. Humor varies very differently in different cultures.
Different humor. That's interesting because I mean, look, we all know that the UK has a dry wit. This kind of gives us a little bit of an insight into the depth of thought that's going in from Universal into this development. They are really considering everything, which when Disney built, well, Euro Disney as was, but now Disneyland Paris, that was one of the things that they messed up. They built an American park in Paris, and the people of Paris did not take well to that. Right? They wanted to see something that more reflected their culture. So it's really interesting to see that Universal are learning from others' mistakes.
Interesting. So, as a live entertainment operation, theme parks are somewhat insulated from some of the harmful impacts that other areas of entertainment have had to experience. What are some of the ways theme park operators can take advantage of technology to benefit the business? For instance, to improve the in-park experience by enhancing crowd management through AI tools, or what are the ways like,
So it looks like there we're moving out of the section, particularly around the UK park. But there were some interesting things there. First of all, Mark Woodbury, CEO, was very, very positive about the project, and seems to be very, very on board with the fact that they are very much on track for making this happen on time and on schedule. Now, this can only be a positive thing. Now, I think Universal are quite limited as to what they can say at the moment, this being the consultation period. Although that consultation period has technically ended, the proposal is now being considered and the feedback is being compiled. I think this is incredibly, incredibly positive for the development. Let's just listen on a little bit longer to see if it does come back to the UK.
are there other ways that you're integrating AI into the planning process?
Yeah, like I'm sure all of you do in your businesses, you're focused on how to leverage AI technologies to the betterment of your operation. We're no different. We bucket it in two buckets, really. We look at how AI can help us enhance growth and revenue generation. and we see several areas for that dynamic pricing, making dynamic variable pricing much more efficient and much more real time. We see new product offerings. We see um, uh, AI assistance at our call centers, and that enables our agents to move much quicker to better customize offerings for the consumer. Same goes for our uh, AI assisted conversational AI on our website. So that's multilingual. So all those things really speed through the entire funnel from consideration to conversion, and that's where we kind of see it on the growth front. And then on the savings front, I'm sure all of you are doing the same back of house on legal and HR and
So it seems now we're moving into kind of what Universal are doing on the tech side in terms of rolling out AI and large language models in terms of their operations, which is very interesting. And I'm sure we could get really into the weeds with that. But we're going to keep it quite specific and quite tight today on Universal Studios in the UK. Overall, a very, very positive message from Mark Woodbury, talking about how it's still on track, talking about some of the considerations, but also talking about how some of the concerns that people have maybe about the weather are perhaps unfounded because they have faced similar climates in Japan, in China, and of course, they have a higher degree of precipitation even in Orlando, albeit with warmer weather. Very, very exciting times. We hope in the next few weeks that we will be getting that update through to say that this project has been greenlit, and then construction is really going to ramp up within the next couple of months. So if you're not subscribed already, now is the time. We do construction updates here, we do deep dives into the planning documents, and of course, we have Universally Bedford Live on Thursdays at 7 p.m. It's a great time, it's fantastic fun, and you could be part of it. You can be part of the show. It's very engaging. Can't wait to see you there. Anyway, you take care, and I will see you very, very soon. All the best. Bye.